FIP interface. So if there's an FIP interface shown, then we just drop the symbol on there. So we've got an FIP interface symbol. Yep. And we drop it on there, and then we just know that there's an FIP interface. So FIP is Fire Indicator Panel. We integrate with the Fire Indicator Panel to unlock doors in the event of a general fire alarm. We can also have a look on the fire lighting and fire drawings. So you can see lighting fire alarm. And the FIP will be shown on this drawing, definitely. If you do not see FIP, then there's no FIP. It doesn't have to have an FIP. As I said, typically this type of construction won't have a fire indicator panel. Nope, I don't believe there's an FIP on this drawing. Typically, you'd be near the main entrance. It's a serviceable product, and it's normally near the main entrance, so it's a good place to look. You can see there's a fire reel symbol here, so that says to me there's no FIP here. So back over to our scope of works, and we're going to select the FIP interface. There's no alarm, there's no keypad terminals. We didn't put a drop in keypad symbols, so we can get rid of that. There is read switches, so we're going to leave that on there. There's no PIR motion sensors, provision for remote monitoring. So we'll get that information from the specification. So we're going to look through here. So there's a note around monitoring. Just scroll through. Next page. So fail-safe operation, battery backup for secure locking. So that's when we're looking at our scope of works. You can see we've got battery backup, so we've got that covered. So you can see that they've got design of fire doors which need to be held open and closed on fire alarm or security lockup after hours. Now, there is no fire alarm. This is what I mentioned about copy and paste or very generic specifications. So they will mention things that typically aren't included on the drawings, but for those kind of things, we'll just go by the drawings. Safety beams for vehicle and gate, there's none of those. Automatic doors, well, that'll be done by the automatic door contractor, so we don't have to worry about that kind of thing. Emergency brake glass units, we've got that. And re-entry to lock fire stair doors. So there's no fire stair doors on this job. So this is once again just a copy and paste and something that we don't have to, is not relevant in this situation. I'll just scroll through. So that was just all our cable tray catenary systems, don't have to worry about any of that. We just use our usual typical item, so not something for us to worry about. There is sometimes we do have to look at that kind of thing, and I'll run through that another time. Talking about PVC conduits, movement detectors would be PIRs. There's no PIRs shown from a security perspective, so we don't have to worry about any of those. External alarms, there's no external alarm shown on the drawing, so we're not going to worry about that. That's what we would use a siren strobe. So I'll show you, I will show you that just so you understand where we're using those. So down here you'll see siren strobe. So if there's a siren strobe shown on the drawing, we'll just drop it on there. There isn't one on this one, so we're not going to worry about it. Alarm circuit supervision. This just talks about the type of system and its minimum requirements, which Integrity will meet all of those minimum requirements, so we don't have to worry about any of that. So provide battery backup to allow door controller's process to operate, including filter for 8 hours after mains power failure. If you see 8 hours, it's actually quite hard to achieve an 8-hour battery backup. So it's just something that I'll get you to, once again, just copy and paste it and just give it a highlight so I know what you're bringing my attention to, and yeah, just drop it down bottom here. And I'll just know to go looking for that kind of stuff. Just have a quick read through here. So it just talks about where push buttons are required, mushroom head, so that's fine. We'll use mushroom head plates. That's mushroom head push buttons we always do, unless it says, to use something different. So all of this information is relevant, but it's also very generic and typical of specifications. And then we're right on the CCTV system. So I'll just have a quick scroll through quickly one more time just to make sure there's nothing else about alarm and access control, which there's not. So what we can do is, back on our scope of works, we'll take out provision for remote monitoring, all required cabling, programming, testing, commissioning. So we've now completed our access control alarm scope of works, and that's got all the information we need to be able to use. Then we move on to CCTV. So hardwire milestone CCTV recording and monitoring system, including CCTV server, including HD with 30 days playback history. So I'll show you where we get all this information. And I did run through this briefly in another video, but I'll cover it again. So that takes us over to CCTV. I'll show you. So it starts down here. CCTV through provide new equipment racks to suit the installation. So we will look at the equipment racks. We would typically exclude, and I'll show you why, on this. We have communication schematic. So there's two 45RU comms racks with incoming communications, it's active equipment, and we've got this small section in the bottom. So what we'll do is we'll exclude the communications racks because we're just taking up this small little space in the rack, and it will actually only be in one of the racks. It won't be in both. We don't have enough hardware to go in both of the racks, so it'll just be the recorder from the CCTV going in one of the racks. So based on that, we will exclude the communications racks. And so what we're going to do is we're going to exclude that. So provide new equipment racks to suit the installation. I'm going to go into here. I'm just going to say allowance has been paid for equipment racks. And that's just stating in quite simple terms that we are not going to be providing any equipment racks to suit this, and that's all we need to say. Nothing else there, that's all relevant. Spy installation, new dome, full-bodied IP color cameras, so that's fine. All cabling, yes. Cabling from node points to cameras shall be via category 6A cabling. So we just need to make sure we've got a node for the category 6A, which I believe we did. So there it is. Network video recorder. So that's fine. Provide dedicated LCD color, high resolution, 1080p, 24-inch type viewing monitor. So 1. So we're going to go and add in. Although it's got a Milestone X-Protect Smart Wall, it does contradict itself. So we're going to take this scope of works here as, I guess, as taking precedence. So we're going to include a 24-inch CCTV monitor. We're going to get rid of that. And it's all pretty generic stuff. CCTV housing 45RU communications rack. We mentioned that before. We're going to exclude that, so I don't need to worry about that. A lot of this stuff is very generic and has come from other specifications. So we'll have shop drawings, that's fine. All warranties, as-built, testing, commissioning, that's all normal and typical of all our installations. So Milestone X-Protect Corporate, so we made a note of that